Welcome to the fascinating world of pistachios, a tiny nut with a rich history, incredible flavor, and remarkable nutritional value. In this journey, we're diving deep into the life of pistachios, from their early growth in orchards to the advanced processing techniques that prepare them for markets around the globe. Pistachios, often called green gold, are more than just a snack. They're a symbol of prosperity, resilience, and global agriculture. Let's start by understanding where pistachios come from. Pistachio trees have been cultivated for thousands of years, with their origins tracing back to the Middle East, particularly ancient Persia, modern-day Iran. In fact, Iran remained the world's top exporter of pistachios for decades. But in recent years, the United States, especially the state of California, has emerged as a major player in the pistachio industry, thanks to technological advances in agriculture and the perfect climate conditions for these resilient trees. The pistachio tree is a hardy perennial that thrives in hot, dry climates with long summers and minimal rainfall. This makes it an ideal crop for regions where water conservation is a priority. These trees can live for decades and still produce fruit, though they do take time to reach full maturity. Typically, a pistachio tree begins to produce nuts around 5 years of age, but optimal production often begins between 7 and 10 years. Interestingly, pistachios grow on trees in grape-like clusters. Each nut is encased in a hard shell and covered by a soft outer hull, called the epicarp. As the nut matures, this hull naturally splits and begins to dry, causing the hard inner shell to crack open, a characteristic sign that the pistachios are ready to harvest. But before we reach that stage, we need to talk about how these trees are planted and cultivated. Pistachio cultivation begins with the selection of healthy, disease-resistant seedlings or rootstocks. Growers often use a method called grafting, attaching the desired pistachio variety to a robust root system to ensure the trees grow strong and yield high-quality nuts. Spacing is crucial when planting pistachio trees. Typically, trees are planted about 3 to 4 meters apart, allowing their roots to spread and their canopies to get enough sunlight. Sunlight is essential because pistachios, like all plants, rely on photosynthesis for energy and growth. Watering pistachio trees is a science in itself. Modern farms use efficient drip irrigation systems that deliver water directly to the roots, minimizing waste and ensuring each tree gets the hydration it needs. This is especially important in regions where water is scarce. Pistachios are dioecious, which means male and female flowers grow on separate trees. For pollination to occur, farmers must strategically plant male trees throughout the orchard. Typically, one male tree is planted for every 8 or 9 female trees to ensure successful fertilization. Unlike other crops, pistachio pollination is primarily driven by the wind, not bees, so proper spacing and placement of trees are key. Once the trees are established, pruning becomes an important part of the orchard's care. Growers shape the trees to optimize sunlight exposure and remove any diseased or dead branches. This not only helps prevent pest infestations but also encourages healthy growth and high-quality nut production. But perhaps one of the most fascinating things about pistachios is their alternate bearing pattern. This means the trees often produce a heavy crop one year, followed by a lighter crop the next. Managing this cycle is a challenge for farmers, but through good pruning, balanced fertilization, and careful irrigation, they can help minimize the effects and stabilize yields year after year. The pistachio growing season is long and demanding. From spring to late summer, farmers monitor their orchards closely, ensuring the trees are healthy and free from pests and diseases. As the nuts mature, the hulls change color from green to a light reddish hue, and the shells begin to split, a sign that harvest is approaching. Harvesting pistachios is a delicate yet impressive process. In large commercial orchards, mechanical shakers are used to gently shake the trees, causing the ripe pistachios to fall into large catching frames or trays. This method ensures the nuts are collected quickly and with minimal damage. Once harvested, the pistachios are rushed to processing facilities. Time is critical. If the outer hull is not removed within 24 hours, the nuts can stain or develop mold, ruining their quality. At the facility, the nuts go through a series of cleaning, hulling, and drying processes. They are then sorted by size and quality, with some being roasted and salted, others packaged raw, and many shipped around the world. So, from a small seedling in an arid orchard to the satisfying crunch in your hand, the journey of a pistachio is one of patience, precision, and passion. But we're just getting started. As the pistachio season progresses into late summer, Usually around August or early September depending on the region, a transformation occurs. The hulls that enclose the pistachio shells begin to soften and split slightly, a natural sign that the nuts are ready to be harvested. This cracking of the shell is where the pistachio earns its nickname, the smiling nut. It's also one of the most critical and exciting moments in the entire pistachio journey. Harvesting pistachios is a delicate operation that requires perfect timing. If picked too early, the nuts haven't developed their full flavor or size. Too late, and they may fall from the trees, become overripe, or develop staining or mold. Most commercial pistachio orchards now rely on mechanical harvesters to get the job done efficiently and quickly. These machines gently shake the trees, causing ripe nuts to fall onto large collection frames or tarps laid beneath the canopy. Speed is essential once the nuts are collected. The soft outer hull that surrounds the shell is prone to staining if left on too long. Within hours of harvesting, the nuts are transported to processing facilities to undergo hulling, washing, and drying. This rapid processing not only preserves the nut's vibrant color and flavor but also prevents contamination and spoilage. At the processing plant, the first step is to remove the hulls. This is done using specialized equipment that separates the outer husk from the inner shell through abrasion and washing. Once hulled, the pistachios are rinsed to remove any remaining debris or sticky residue. Clean nuts are then sent through high-capacity drying tunnels where warm air reduces their moisture content to about 5%. This drying step is crucial for safe storage and maintaining the pistachio's characteristic crunch. After drying, the nuts go through a thorough sorting and grading process. Not all pistachios are created equal. Some shells remain completely closed and won't open naturally. These are typically sold for use in processed products like ice cream or sauces. Meanwhile, open-shell pistachios are sorted by size, color, and quality. Premium-grade pistachios, those with vibrant green kernels, open shells, and uniform shape, are set aside for retail packaging. Advanced technologies now assist in this stage. Optical sorters use color detection and machine vision to identify defects or foreign materials, ensuring only the best nuts make it through. X-ray machines are also used to detect internal issues like hidden insect damage or empty shells, which are invisible to the naked eye. But the journey doesn't stop at sorting. Many pistachios undergo roasting and salting, especially those destined for the snack market. Roasting enhances the flavor, giving the nut a warm, toasty aroma and that satisfying crunch we all love. Salting, whether light or bold, adds another layer of taste. Some producers also offer flavored varieties, think chili lime, honey roasted, or garlic and herb, to meet the growing demand for gourmet snacks. Roasting is a precise science. Temperatures are carefully controlled to avoid overcooking the delicate kernels, which could lead to bitterness or burnt flavors. Modern roasters use rotating drums or conveyor ovens to ensure even heat distribution, and air circulation systems remove excess moisture without damaging the nuts. Once flavored or roasted, pistachios are cooled and prepared for packaging. The packaging process is designed to preserve freshness and extend shelf life. Nitrogen flushing is often used to remove oxygen from the bags before sealing, preventing oxidation and keeping the product crunchy and flavorful for months. From here, pistachios are packaged in a wide variety of formats: vacuum-sealed bags, resealable pouches, bulk containers for wholesalers, or even gift boxes for specialty markets. Labels highlight their origin, nutritional benefits, and sometimes the story of the farm or region they came from, a growing trend in today's consumer-conscious market. Behind the scenes, quality control teams test samples at every stage, checking for aflatoxins, moisture content, flavor consistency, and physical defects. Certifications such as USDA Organic, Non-GMO Project Verified, or HACCP compliance are often required, especially for export, and demand strict adherence to global safety and agricultural standards. Speaking of exports, pistachios have become a global commodity. The United States, particularly California's Central Valley, is now the world's largest producer and exporter of pistachios, followed closely by Iran and Turkey. American pistachios are shipped to markets in Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, where demand continues to grow thanks to their nutritional value and rising popularity as a plant-based protein source. Shipping pistachios internationally involves more than just putting them on a boat or plane. The nuts must be stored in temperature and humidity-controlled containers to avoid spoilage. Proper documentation, certifications, and customs clearance are all part of the journey. The goal: to ensure that whether you're enjoying pistachios in Paris, Tokyo, or Dubai, they arrive as fresh and delicious as they were when first harvested in California or Iran. Beyond the farm and processing plant, pistachios embark on a cultural journey that transcends borders. In kitchens around the world, these little green gems hold a place of honor. They're not just snacks, they're ingredients in some of the most beloved and luxurious dishes. In the Middle East, pistachios are a staple in countless desserts. Baklava, with its flaky layers of filo pastry, soaked in honey and stuffed with crushed pistachios, is an iconic treat. In Iran, pistachios are used in everything from saffron-infused rice dishes to delicate nougats and ice cream. Indian sweets like kulfi and barfi often feature ground pistachios for both their flavor and their beautiful green hue. In Italy, pistachios from Bronte, Sicily, known for their intense aroma and vivid color, are considered a delicacy. They're blended into rich gelatos, used in savory pasta sauces, and ground into pesto. In France, pistachios add elegance to macarons, tarts, and pâtés. And in modern Western cuisine, chefs have embraced pistachios as a crunchy topping for salads, a crust for fish and chicken, or even as a base for plant-based butters. Nutritionally, pistachios are a powerhouse. They're one of the highest protein nuts and contain all 9 essential amino acids, making them a rare complete protein in the plant world. Rich in healthy fats, fiber, antioxidants, and key vitamins like B6 and E, they support heart health, blood sugar regulation, and even eye health thanks to compounds like lutein and zeaxanthin. Because of these health benefits, pistachios are increasingly used in functional foods and sports nutrition. Pistachio milk, for instance, is a newer non-dairy alternative that's gaining popularity due to its creamy texture and nutrient content. Protein bars, granolas, and even meat substitutes are incorporating pistachios for their protein, crunch, and natural green appeal. But the story of pistachios isn't only about flavor and nutrition. It's also about resilience and sustainability. Pistachio trees are incredibly drought-tolerant, a trait that makes them especially valuable in arid climates. Once established, they require significantly less water than other tree nuts like almonds. They can thrive in saline soils and survive high summer temperatures, which makes them suitable for regions facing the pressures of climate change. In recent years, pistachio farmers have begun embracing more sustainable practices. Drip irrigation systems minimize water waste, while cover crops and organic mulches help retain soil moisture and boost biodiversity. Solar energy powers many modern processing plants, reducing the carbon footprint of the industry. In some orchards, even the hulls and shells, once discarded as waste, are being repurposed as biomass fuel or soil amendments. Research is also advancing rapidly. Scientists are studying pest-resistant rootstocks, improved cultivars with faster yield times, and methods to enhance nut quality while minimizing resource use. There's a strong focus on soil health and regenerative farming, aiming to make pistachio orchards more climate resilient and productive in the long term. This commitment to sustainability extends beyond the farm. Exporters and distributors are under increasing pressure to reduce plastic in packaging, improve traceability, and invest in fair labor practices across the supply chain. In response, many companies have launched initiatives that support local farming communities, fund agricultural education, and ensure ethical working conditions. At the same time, the global demand for pistachios shows no signs of slowing. As more consumers shift toward plant-based diets, nutrient-dense snacks, and minimally processed foods, pistachios are perfectly positioned to meet these evolving tastes. New product innovations, like pistachio cheese, pistachio energy drinks, or pistachio-based meat alternatives, are already hitting the market. And there's something timeless about the pistachio. Maybe it's the satisfying crack of the shell, the vibrant green of the kernel, or the deep cultural roots that stretch across ancient civilizations. From royal Persian courts to Roman banquets, from Silk Road traders to modern supermarket shelves, pistachios have always been treasured, and they continue to captivate the world. In the end, the journey of the pistachio is more than just seed to snack. It's a story of human ingenuity, of adapting to challenging environments, of celebrating heritage while innovating for the future. Whether you're savoring a handful on a quiet afternoon or exploring a pistachio-studded dessert in a bustling market, you're part of a global tradition. One nut, countless stories. And that's the legacy of the pistachio, rooted in the earth, rich in history, and full of potential for the generations to come.